on the way. They were the goals that did it for Manchester City today. 3 in 5 games for Gvardiol. He's an unlikely source of goals, but the most likely was back on the score sheet as well. Erling Haaland, 21 Premier League goals this season. And when you've got a fella like that to bring off the bench, you've got every chance for closing out any game, haven't you, when you're the champion?
Yeah, but you still need a manager who's got the awareness to do it at the right time. You know, it's not willy-nilly. You know, he finds the right time to bring Erling on. He's obviously been struggling with an injury. He knows to bring him on when the game's a little bit stretched, when they're trying to find an equaliser. And once De Bruyne finds that little bit of space, it was an inevitable outcome. He just drifts past Murillo as if he's not there.
Well, let's talk to the man himself. Live at the City Ground. He's been on the pitch 9.5 minutes. Erling Haaland, well done. Another win and back amongst the goals.
Yeah, important win and difficult game, but in the end we win, and that's the only thing that matters. So now relax and focus on the next one.
Yeah, they gave you a challenge today, Nottingham Forest, didn't they? Yeah,
it was a really difficult game, and I know we can't speak about the pitch and all that kind of things, but it was so dry. You know, there's no excuse. We win it, and when others can't score, a left back has to score, and important win.
3 in 5 for Gvardiol. He's on a Haaland-like streak in front of goal.
Yeah, he's doing really good, and wow, he's a proper player.
Now, you came on, as I say, at 1-0, which in any Premier League game you can't relax in, but your goal settled any anxiety.
Yeah, as I said, it doesn't matter who scores or whatever. The most important is to win, and I came on, tried to finish the game, and that's exactly what I did. So important 3 points and focus on the next one.
Erling, did you realise when you picked up that ball Murillo was struggling with an injury?
No. I don't know if you see it in the clips. I didn't look at him, but now I know.
So you would have done that to him anyway?
Yeah.
What's it like at this exciting stage of the season when you're both playing on the same day and one's played and one's won, and then you have to go and do your job like today?
It's nice. You know, exactly like last season. I think this is maybe the most exciting time to be a footballer. You know, there's not many who can relate, but this is why I play football. This like kind of, I don't know, the feeling before the game. You're a bit nervous and these kind of things. This is fantastic, and that's why I also love football. Exactly for these feelings here, and yeah, it's great feelings.
Erling, how you doing? Ian Wright. I was just wanted to say about starting. Are you ready to start now? Are you up to fitness? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I had a bit of a problem, and of course, it's not nice to be able to bounce back when you lose. No, we didn't lose against Madrid, but we went out in the Champions League. So it's been scratching me inside of me to get back, and now I'm back and feeling good, and I'm ready to attack the last 5 finals.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good way of putting it. And the fact that you were all in this situation last season and loads of your teammates have done it time and time again, what does that count for at this stage of the season, do you think, Erling?
Yeah, experience. You know, so many of these guys, as you say, have done it before, and it's about keeping the head calm and not wanting too much. Relax now, tonight, go home, smile, enjoy your time, and then focus on the next game.
Your dad was smiling there, seeing you score against his old club anyway.
Yeah, good to see. He smiles a bit.
Erling, well played. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Well done. Erling Haaland live, and he's one ahead of Cole Palmer in the Golden Boot race now for back-to-back Golden Boots.
You wouldn't be betting against him, would you, with the games they have coming up? You know, it looks like he was sharp coming off the bench there. He was ready to come on. I think Wright is spot on. He's ready to start now. Yeah, and I'm sure he starts the next game, and he looks to get on the score sheet. He said it's not about who scored, but they all said that. But listen, let me tell you, these guys want to score.
And
he'll say the right thing.
And Emmanuel, he is a proper goal scorer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a goal machine, and obviously what he did in his first season in England is incredible. It's unbelievable. Scoring that much goals in this league, one of the toughest league in the world, is just incredible. But as he said, as a striker, we always want to score. And obviously this year he's struggling a little bit in front of the pole. Obviously he's missing some chances where the criticism also is coming on top, which is normal. But today him getting on the goal sheet is very good for him, for his confidence. And now, as he said, he can stretch the team. Alvarez is very good as a player that I love to watch play. But today they definitely need a player that can sit right there and just stretch the opponent team into their box, into their half, and that's what he brought into the game today.
You'd appreciate these numbers in this league. That's his 93rd game for Manchester City and his 84th goal.
That's just incredible. I think that's what I have done in my whole entire I have scored a little bit, but this is just... he is born to be a scorer, and he doesn't care how many balls he's touching the game. I care about how many balls he touches, but for him, he's just scoring goals. And
he does the job, doesn't he, without touching the ball. Even when he come on, he stays, he occupies, and he creates that space, like for Kevin De Bruyne. You know, they can't come out. They can't jump from that centre-back position because they're worried. They're worried about him. He's got pace in behind. He can hold the ball up, and they get a little space. He gets on the half-turn, Kevin, and he just slides him in.
Well, that's what Alan Shearer asked him last year with that interview, and he said, listen, the only touch I'm concerned about are the ones that go in the back of the net.
I think, again, you know, it just shows the powerhouse that is Manchester City when you, at this stage of the season, the real business end, and you've got Erling Haaland who can come off the bench, who's looking that sharp. You know, it can be a bit demoralising, especially for an Arsenal fan. But you've just got to, like he said, like Arsenal had to do, you just got to do your job. You've got to continue to push a Manchester City like Arsenal are doing, so they have to get the job done. You don't want to slip up now in games simply because like they're doing it again and they are experienced at this stage of the season. You've got to make them do it. You've got to ask the question. You have to.
You asked him there about Murillo because we noticed a couple of minutes before Haaland scored his goal, he damaged his groin.
Yeah. I mean, he got in a tangle here, didn't he? But he recovered it brilliantly. And I think here he stretches far too much, you know, and you can't do that, you know, not at this level and get away with it. And he looks like he's done his adductor. They're going to miss him. I mean, he's going to have been a warrior for them this season. They haven't got too many options in that department. And he looks like he's pulled his groin there. But just shortly after, you know, they pick up that ball. Kevin De Bruyne.
He stayed on. And then
drifted off him and he went past him as if he wasn't there. There it is there. Look, you can't leave De Bruyne with that amount of space. He turns, let the balls run, and he just pulls off. And here I thought, you know, he knows he's struggling. He just shifts it. I mean, great finish, Addy. He shifted it the 1 foot and hits it with the first time.
We saw it with Bukayo Saka today in the first game where he bring the ball, like going on the left, bringing the ball onto the left and finish it with his left foot. Obviously, he's stronger foot, and we can see Haaland forcing the defender because the defender's not giving him any chance apart from going where he was going. You can see his body language is showing that you have to go to the right side, and he's like, okay, I got the speed, I got the power. Let me try it, and the finishing was just unbelievable. A proper striker finish.
I think what you could see with Murillo there is that he doesn't actually get a foot in. I think that Murillo, simply because Haaland is left-footed, he's thinking he wants to come back in. So he's got him in his head. So and then he just goes on the right and slots it. It was great play because he's both footed in that.
As I said again, that's the difference between a player like a Bukayo Saka, because today you can tell he gave body movement first before coming onto the left and finishing. But you can tell Haaland was just going full power. He knows, okay, this is where I'm going. I will go with my power. That's why he did it on 2 steps. He made the difference and finished with the right foot.
If you let him inside, it's an easier finish for him. It gives the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. At least there, he sent him down the outside. It should give the goalkeeper a better angle to save it, but he gives him no chance because he hits it so early with his right foot.
And from the defender's point of view, you've 1-0, you concentrate, and then you see the Premier League's leading goal scorer come on. I mean, that can be demoralising, sure.
Of course it's demoralising. That's the embarrassment of riches.
That's just for you, not even for us.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just like, but you see that. And this is why it was such a tough ask for Forest to try and hold that team off, because let's say they even did get to that level of the game where they did hold them off, or Chris Woods did take those chances, you still got someone like Erling Haaland to come on. You know, so you always feel that Manchester City were always going to be in charge of this game, and they were in charge of this game.
Yeah. And he wants to play all the time. He wouldn't have been happy, even though he's missed a couple with injury, sitting there watching for 69 minutes, would he?
No, but he don't look like he's not been playing. He's been sulking. I think he's had niggle. He's got it right. He looks like he's trained hard. He's waited for his opportunity. When you come off the bench, you need to show the manager you're ready to start. And I think he's done that now.
It's not a role that he's had. I think it's the second time he's been a sub all season. So he's not used to that, is he?
No, he's not used to it, but you have to show the correct attitude when you come off the bench. To this manager especially, because they haven't done bad without him, have they?
No.
It's great to bring him off the bench, but you need him for the remaining games. Look, it's put him in a red shirt today. They might have got something out of that game. Erling Haaland was Chris Wood today. With the chances what he had a few very, very good chances. They might have got something out of that game, but they haven't got him. Man City have got him. It's unfair, isn't it?
Let's hear from the man who signed him and got him and brought him on today, the winning manager. Here he is, Pep Guardiola.
Well, Pep, I suppose a different kind of victory to Thursday. So what's pleased you the most out there this afternoon?
No, it's a difficult game. We knew it. So difficult. They were pressed with bravery, so they are incredible fast players, a lot of quality, and we found the goal when in the moment they were 10 against 11, and we were lucky with the pitch conditions. They missed a lot of chances for that reason. So, a great victory because we had a lot of games behind us, but now we have a long week to recover.
You mentioned there the pitch conditions. We've just been speaking to Josko Gvardiol and Erling Haaland out there, and they said how difficult it made it physically for them this afternoon. But do you feel it's benefited you ultimately?
Yeah, ultimately benefit, yeah.
In what way?
Because they had a lot of chances. With the pitch will be better, with the fast players will be better for them, that's for sure.
Josko, perhaps an unlikely goal scorer. Does that make it all the more pleasing, though, that at this point in the season you have players all over the pitch chipping in with goals?
Yeah, of course it's important. It's important, of course it is. So, Erling, it was not for 90 minutes, but, the impact always is important. And when they have to push a little bit more, have more space. But especially the game changed when Bernardo came inside and make a lot of passes the last half an hour we should play. But it's difficult, so the opponents are tough, so aggressive, and they play for incredible thing, to be in the Premier League, and these games are so difficult in these stages. We suffered a lot. It was a really, really difficult game for us, but at the end we could survive.
What can you tell us about the changes at half-time? With Ederson forced, what's the status there? And tactically, what were you thinking with the other one, Kovacic and Doku?
But Eddie is injured, so I don't know how long will be, and we want more passes. So we cannot survive as a team. We don't have the ball. We struggle, and Kova helped us a lot for that extra passes that we need. But sometimes in the afternoons when it's difficult, only you can survive with the ball. And after when Bernardo and Kova and the other ones came there, was much better.
Going into today, you'll have seen the Arsenal score. Away from that, do you still see Liverpool as part of this three-way title race with them dropping points again yesterday?
Everything can happen. Of course, we still have 4 games, 3 games for them. But what happened to Liverpool that dropped a few points in the last games can happen to us, can happen to Arsenal. Tough games for everyone. We have really tough, Fulham away, Spurs away is really, really difficult. And it's just, now, unfortunately, I would prefer to have a long week because we play semi-final Champions League, but in these circumstances, now we have 2-3 days to recover, don't see each other, and the players to rest, and prepare the 4 finals that we have and the FA Cup final.
Okay, thanks for your time, Pep.
You're very welcome.
300 Premier League games in charge of Manchester City today. Only the 5th manager to do it in the Premier League era at one club. It shows you how hard it is.
Why would you want to leave that club? He stayed there for another 300, wouldn't he? I mean, with that success and the tools what they give him to work with. I mean, he's a brilliant manager. I think he's the best coach we've ever seen in the Premier League. It's a joy to watch his teams. For me, anyway, I love it. I would love to have played for him. I think people pay a lot of money for education of their kids. Get him in front of. They're getting paid. They're actually getting paid to play for that man and learning all the time. You want to go into management, you learn so much of him. I think Mikel Arteta's done exactly the same. He's learnt a lot from that man. I think he's a genius. I really do. I think he's the best we've ever seen. I think Sir Alex Ferguson is the best manager because the trophies suggest that. Obviously, Arsene Wenger will be up there. I have to say that with these two here. But he's a genius. He's a genius. And I know he gets the tools to work with, but 300 games, do another 300. He's got the energy. I mean, every single season he looks like he's on it. He pushes his foot to the floor and he doesn't let them let up. Anyone lets up, they don't play.
And 14 trophies in his time at City and still fighting for another 2 this season.
As Tim Sherwood said, and I regret, that's the only thing I regret in my career, not playing for him, because when I had that season in 2008, he was my wake-up call. Every morning he was calling me, join me in Barcelona, come join me in Barcelona. Obviously, I didn't want to leave Arsenal because I have a great moment and I created a bond of a family.
So you spoke to him?
A lot of times, yeah. Like literally every day for like 2 weeks non-stop. Every single morning, 5, 6 a.m. he was calling me. So it's the only regret in my career. Obviously, I have a chance to speak and talk and chat with Guy Clichy in Turkey, with Yaya Toure, and they all told me how great he is as a manager. He could have added something more into my game, into my football. But, it's always good to be able to watch him and see what he's doing today with City. The project that we started, remember we started City project in 2009, and see where the team is today, what they have achieved is just incredible. Because we believed in the project and today is doing quite well.
So it was basically the right move, but just at the wrong time for you?
For me, yes, exactly, yeah. Yeah. But, sometimes life happens, and maybe if I end up also with him in Barcelona, it could have been worse. So, you have to look at both sides. Today, I'm happy for him for whatever he's doing, and I'm happy also staying in Arsenal because for me, I have no reason leaving a club that I cherish that much. Obviously, my idol, who was Nwankwo Kanu, was playing for that club. That's why whatever Arsene Wenger was gave me Nwankwo Kanu's locker place in the dressing room, and his number 25 shirt on my back, and that make me really, really happy. And that's why when I left Arsenal, you can see the hunger, because it's a club that I love with all my heart. I didn't want to leave, but things happen, and today I'm still happy being a player for Arsenal, and today seeing Pep Guardiola what he's doing around the world, as he said. And I think if you're going to count 2 or 3 best manager that ever existed in football, I think he's definitely among those 3.
Imagine that, Pep Guardiola ringing you at 5 a.m. every morning, asking you to join you.
Yeah, I could, but you look at Emmanuel and the way he played, what he's capable of doing. He said it himself there, where he could have maybe taken his game to another level in respect to what he was doing. But like he said, he was happy where he was. And that's what happens. People don't realise that happens in football. Sometimes you have to make decisions like that, where you make a decision, and as long as when you finish, you realise, something, I feel like I made the right decision for myself, but at least one of the greatest managers in the world thought that I could play for him. And that's a big enough testament as it in itself.
5 a.m, he was just coming in.
For me, already it's an achievement, because I can say loud on TV here that he wanted me. So which means one of the best managers that ever existed knew that I got a quality. So that's, for me, coming from Togo, from wherever I came from, for what I had as a career, it's a plus for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's good to know that there's the odd player out there who doesn't get Pep Guardiola anyway. Well, he doesn't get every single player that he wants, Pep Guardiola out there. The odd one says no, not many. Right, let's get some more Manchester City reaction. Here's the other Manchester City goal scorer, Josko Gvardiol.
Is there extra pressure when you go second, when Arsenal have already played and won? Does it put a little bit extra on you?
To me, I don't know. If you ask me, not really. Because they have 1 game more. So, all we need is just to go game by game. And, the end of the season is coming soon, so, we need to be 100% in.
Some of the City players, many of them, of course, have been through this before, and we call it City's time of year when they go on this run. It's new for you. How much fun is it to be a part of it?
I've heard it many times, to be fair. Don't know, it's really difficult, and it's my first season, and it's really stressful. But that's why I'm here, and I really enjoy it, and hopefully we're gonna win it. But I'm not gonna say it because I'm still far from it, and still 4 games to play.
Well, he was brought predominantly to defend, but of course sometimes Manchester City don't have that much defending to do. But as we mentioned at half-time, Nico Williams had gone off, was off the pitch. You noticed he'd been picking him up. He wasn't there, and Gvardiol did that. Yeah,
took advantage of it. Obviously, De Bruyne at the centre of it again with a delivery. Morgan Gibbs-White decides to mark him, or he doesn't. and he just gets across the front. I think Murillo needs to recognise it and come out off that post a little bit and go and attack that ball, but Guardiola gets in front of everyone, very aggressive with his run and movement. Timing's fantastic, and the goalkeeper can't save it. Yeah, good start for him.
And he's got 3 goals in 5 games now, and as Pep Guardiola was saying, at this stage of the season, to have all those goals shared around the team,
this is
real
mostly a sign of a champion when the league or when the games become harder. You get any player from anywhere that can score a goal for you. Like a couple of years back, remember that incredible shot from
Company.
Yeah.
And this is champion signs. Like when it became hard, you see anybody coming from anywhere. He's scoring 3 goals out of 4 for a defender, which I think one of the best record in the league. So strikers are struggling to score 1 goal. He's scoring 3 out of 4 games, playing right back or left back. It's incredible. So which means City are well prepared. And as we said, they needed another goal. They brought the goal machine himself in, and he gave them that. That's for me, putting everything together is a sign of a champion.
And he's surrounded by players.
Oh, yeah.
He's come into a dressing room that have been there, done it, just won all 3.
Well, it was interesting what you said in the interview about, like, that's what they're talking about. Everybody hears it all the time about City know how to navigate this end of the season. But, like, he's probably still nervous simply because he hasn't done that yet. But he's got the people around him that keeps him calm. But what was really good about that goal and the goals he scored is the way he's attacking that ball. You got Kevin De Bruyne putting it in, and he's just attacking that ball. And, he's obviously got the feel for it now. He knows that he's in a team that can do it, and like he seems to have, he's got the confidence from that. So he's going and expressing himself in the opponent's box now, scoring goals, helping the team over the line.
And one of those players who's been and done it many times in his dressing room is Rodri. He's got another landmark today. 70 games he's played for City since he lost one, and he just constructed things again from midfield today.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, he just breaks the game up. He's always in the right place at the right time, dictates the pace of the game. For me, he's like a Hoover. He just hoovers up any rubbish, anything. Any scraps, and he restores order with passing ability as well. It's just magnificent. He's just always cultured. Look at him, look, stands on his feet all the time. You hardly ever see him go to ground. He chips in with big goals on big occasions. But he just fills space and he just recognises it. See there, just like the weight of pass. It looks simple, but it's not. He's just he's a walking brain of Guardiola. He will play. When he's fit, he plays. Look, that says everything. I mean, he's just he's an extension of the manager on the pitch. That's exactly what you need. He's a manager's dream. He will give you not one restless night, not one. And he knows he's going to send the correct message out to the rest of the players when he's on that pitch.
When it comes to this type of players outside, because obviously I'm kind of based in Africa and I'm watching the league, most of the time telling the players, my friends, when we are watching the game, how important this player is. They still don't believe. You have to be in football. You have to actually play one time a professional football in your life to understand this type of player, because he will never take the ball and do oversteps or whatever, but he dictates, like he said, he's the one that giving the rhythm to the game. Whatever, if you want the game to go fast, it will go fast. If you want it to slow down, it will slow down. That's how important Rodri is for Manchester City. Without him, as he said, he's the second manager on the pitch.
And he's probably, out of the entire squad, which is an unbelievable squad, the one they haven't actually got a direct replacement for.
No, they haven't. And we've seen that when he's been missing, they lose games. But that's an unbelievable record. Not lost in 70. I don't know what that feels like for him to not lose.
I mean, the self-belief must be off the charts.
It's amazing, It's the kind of record you don't want to know. You just want it to carry on. But, that just proves, I suppose, his impact on the team.
Consistent.
And how confident you will feel with him in the team, because of what he does. It's just like even seeing him there, like when the ball's going that way, he's already moving back towards the centre of the pitch. And then all of a sudden the game comes back towards the pitch and then he intercepts it. Those things are why he's, those players like him, like Kante, when you watch Kante and he can go, what can I say, how great they are, how great they are in that position. And how comes that position has become so important in the game.
Well, it says that. We've seen the money, what the teams have spent all over the Premier League for that sitting midfield player.
Declan Rice can't say, and the players, the money they've spent on a player that can do that job properly or can prove to do that job properly. Look at Declan Rice. We can't do without Declan Rice in that team. Rodri as well. You look at Rodri and what he does. When you do that job properly, your team are going to be successful.
If you're looking for tiny little omens, the last league game he lost was away at Tottenham. And City have still got to play him. So
yeah. Well, unfortunately, I've seen Tottenham in the last few games, and I don't think Tottenham are going to be able to stop this City. No way.
We'll see that in a moment. The one negative for City today, Ederson off at half-time with that troublesome shoulder. He is in a sling, we understand, and Pep Guardiola has just said he'll be assessed tomorrow, but it does not look good for Ederson.
I think he's a worry. I don't think he comes off unless he's really injured. The good thing is Ortega comes in, he looks like he's been there all the time. He's had enough game time. I think he rotates enough and he gives them enough cup games. That's the beauty of having so much football. You know, Pep always talks about not having enough rest, there's too much football, but with the games, gives his goalkeeper a game. All of a sudden, if you was bringing him in cold now, you know, it'd be a worry. You know, the pressure cooker end of the season. But at the moment, he looks so calm. Ortega, he comes and takes crosses, he demands his area, he's got the confidence of the players in front of him, he's good with his feet. I don't see it as a worry, I really don't.
Interesting. OK, that is one side of the story at the top of the Premier League. When we come back, we'll look at... So, another defeat for Nottingham Forest. They've won just twice in 15 Premier League games now. Beaten 2-0 by Manchester City, having gone 3 games unbeaten at the City ground. Let's see what their manager thinks of it. Here are the thoughts of Nuno.
Well, Nuno, not the result that you would have wanted, but how much can you take from the performance of your players today?
I think we played a good game. We were organised, compact. We had chances. I think we did a good job regarding the opponent, how hard it is again to play against City. But the players really given a big go effort. Thank you to the fans again, because I think with this attitude and the way we played, we're going to achieve what we want. This is what is more important.
You mentioned the chances, 14 shots on goal. Do you think you deserved more out of this game?
I think we could have done better. It's not about deserving or not. That is the point. We done better. Chris is one of the best strikers in the Premier League. We trust him, and he's going to deliver for sure.
Pep Guardiola was just speaking to us about the pitch today. He feels it was the surface that potentially cost you those chances. Do you agree with that in any sense?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I think we have talent enough to do much better.
With that attacking threat, do you feel that you are more disappointed or encouraged by what you've seen out there today?
We are disappointed with the result. We thought that the good things that we've done could be another result, but this is the reality. The encouragement comes from the way we work, how committed we are, and what we have ahead of us. This is what's more important. We stay positive and we go for the next 3 games.
And you feel you've seen enough in that performance today to fill you with belief in those remaining games?
Definitely the performance today and before. I think we are working very hard, missing important moments. Also on defensive aspect of the game, set pieces and all these things. But definitely we're giving a go with the chances that we had. It's more important that we keep producing, because we trust that the final touch will come.
Yeah, well, those chances he was talking about, Nottingham Forest, 14 shots today to City's 11, but 2 on target, 33% possession. They actually had more shots at the Etihad and lost 2-0 as well. But the obvious question is, having shots is one thing, but having finishes like they did today is quite another.
Well, that's the thing. Anyone that's got anything from Manchester City, and it's under Pep's reign, you're going to be chasing the ball a lot, but like you may be able to break on them and get a chance, and then you have to take the chance. This here, for a striker, for me, that's unforgivable. You know what's happening. You're in a place where this is meant to be, where your bread and butter. Your feet have to be sorted there. You have to be ready to go. Look, he can see everything. Bang. You know, he's not moving his feet. He's not moving his feet properly. I think this one's a little bit more unfortunate for him, because, you know, he's trying to react to trying to just to flick that in. But like the 2 chances, it's that chance from Chris Wood, and I think we might see his next chance as well, where, I'm sorry, but again, this one, last one was on his right foot. This one's on his left foot. Brilliant play from Elanga. And there, look, again, I'm sorry, you have to get more on that. This is for where they are, for what they need him as a striker to do. And I know he's been scoring goal recently. You can see that all the way onto his foot. That has got to be better. You've got to get yourself in a position where you're leaning into that so you don't have to try and guide it in your foot. You get your foot into a position where you can really place that back where it's coming from. He's tried to go inside the goal, so he's actually mishit it. That's why it's come off his foot. So he needs to just go bam and just place that right into the near post from where he is. And you have to sort your feet to do that. And those are the things what you've got to do against the Manchester City, because you're not going to get the chances where you're going to think, oh, I'm going to run through and get a one-on-one. Those are the chances you get against teams like that. And you have to be ready for them.
Yeah, they're big moments down the bottom.
But he was already lucky enough to have 2 clean chances against one of the best club or team now in Europe. And you're playing against Man City and you have 2 clean chances. I think you have to take them because you will never have again, because this is Man City tomorrow. If they play this game again tomorrow, after tomorrow, in 1 week, he will not have those chances. Yeah. You have them today. It's an opportunity. You have to take them. As we said earlier on, playing a game is one thing. Creating chances also is another thing. Scoring that's why Haaland is in Manchester, and people always say, I think I'm better, or you are better, or he's better. But he's the one finishing the job. Today he came on, he has one chance and 1 goal. And that is the difference in between these big players and a normal player. Now, for them to have a chance or dream of staying in the Premier League, they have to start taking these chances. If not, it's over.
I mean, the worry is he's the best option they have. And he hasn't done bad this year.
No, he had 9 in 12 before
exactly.
Today.
His numbers are decent, but against the top teams, you only get a few chances. You need to be clinical. They're not getting relegated on the basis of not winning at home to Man City. They've still got an opportunity to get out of it. I mean, it's the next games. It's the ones where the teams in and around them, that's the ones they got to win. That's the ones that's going to get them safe in the Premier League. It's over. It's a long job, 38 games. They've got to look at the whole season. It's not about today. Today's a bonus game for them. But there's games coming up. They're still there with a chance. So I give them hope.
Let's have a look at those games coming up because, as we said, Burnley, Luton and Nottingham Forest, 2 of those 3 to join Sheffield United, who, of course, were confirmed as relegated yesterday. So, Forest, 2 away from home, 1 at the bottom club, 1 at the team second from bottom, 1 more home game left against Chelsea. Everton, who I mentioned, are safe, go to Luton on Friday. Then Luton go to West Ham and they're at home to Fulham on the final day. Burnley's last 3, at home to Newcastle, away at Spurs, and then they will hope to take it to the final day when they play Nottingham Forest. What a game potentially that could be.
Yeah, I think they need 1 win.
Who?
Nottingham Forest.
Oh, right, I think they're Burnley for a moment.
I think Nottingham Forest need 1 win. I don't know where they're going to get it. I mean, they're looking tough on paper. Sheffield, already relegated. Away, some of their players might be putting themselves in a shop window to try and stay in the Premier League. And they're relaxed now. There's no pressure. Chelsea at home, you never know what Chelsea's going to turn up. And Burnley will be a cup final. Let's hope for the Premier League's sake we go to the last day and see that game.
I mean, that's the other end of the table. There's all kinds of permutations in there still.
I think Luton, with Everton safe, Luton at home to Everton could be a big one for them. I think they have to win that one because West Ham away will be difficult, and I think they may have a chance with Fulham because obviously Fulham are doing good stuff. But I think Forest, they might need more than 1 simply because I think Sheffield they'll win. I think that Luton can get something out of them games, especially the home games there. I think they can get something. I'm not going to write Luton off. But I feel like something like a Forest, especially with them chances. And you're right, Tim, it's not against Man City where they're going to stay up. It's against the teams around them. But those chances are the ones you have to take.
We talk about the fine margins at the top and Arsenal playing first today. I've mentioned if Luton now know if they can win on Friday against Everton, by the time Forest play, Forest will be in the drop zone.
There's a different
and for the players, that's a different psychological factor.
It's very difficult, when you are playing football, when you have a chance to be in this Premier League, you want to stay in there for the rest of your career because it's the most beautiful, exciting league in the world, the best league in the world. So for me, when it comes to this kind of level, I have never witnessed this before. I have never played in a team that's going down. So I don't know.
You should have signed for me when I asked you. I would have given you that experience.
Yeah, but I didn't want to go through that because I know how hard it can be and how difficult it can be to stay in this league. So what I'm looking at, obviously, Forest going to Sheffield. He said already, Sheffield already gone. They have nothing to lose. They are playing to now stay in some of the players who play now to showcase their talent so they can join a Premier League team. Some of them will be like, you know what, I'm on holiday. But once some players are more relaxed, they are actually more better. They play better. They are free in their head. There's no stress. And all the pressure now will be on Forest. But Luton have two home games. I think when you are playing these type of games at home, it's always easier. It's always better because you have your fans as a 12th man that will be following you, that will be singing your name, that will be cheering you up. So I think Luton have, as you said, Ian, I think for me also, Luton have a chance. But it's not going to be easy.
You thought you'd sell Birmingham to him at the time as well, didn't you? So.
I told him it was just outside London.
Got the 100 miles. Right.
Thoughts on Arsenal and Tottenham? If not for that one-week blip where they lost to Aston Villa and bow out of the Champions League, Arsenal have been by far the most impressive team this season. They have the best defensive record. They blow teams away by huge margin of goals, which leave them with the top goal difference, worth a point at least. Even after that week of disappointment, they are now pretty much faultless. It is not their choice, however. They have to be because reigning champions Manchester City have games in hand, which if they win all the remaining games, there is nothing Arsenal can do about it. They will be crowned champions for the 4th consecutive time. But the way Arsenal played this season, it will be a shame if they did not win the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur's club, on the other hand, have had a very good start to the season led by their new coach Ange Postecoglou. Since then, they have fallen off due to injuries and other reasons in the middle of the season. Still, they are in prime place to fight for the Champions League spot with Aston Villa. Villa currently have more points, but Spurs have an advantage if they win all their games in hand. They are also on a course in the remaining matches of the season to play the top 3 Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool, which puts them in a position to be kingmakers or title deniers. They also have a history of good records previously against the top 3 teams.